Juneteenth is for Black Americans only. Not for my fellow Haitians, not for Jamaicans, not for Trinidadians, Black Puerto Ricans, Black Mexicans, Black Indigenous, Black Americans. Let them have a day. Let them have a day. And if there's any day for them to rest, it is Juneteenth. Leave them alone. Let them have their day. Don't make it about you. Don't fish for content on Juneteenth, trying to find a reason to make it about you. Oh, why can't we celebrate Juneteenth? No. It's for them. They've earned it. Let them have it.
Hello family, it's yet another good day to get tuned on my YouTube channel. I'm Marvin, and if it's your first time to this channel, feel free to click the subscribe icon and like my videos. Our focus today will be on Juneteenth holiday, specifically on Black Americans' perspective. Juneteenth has only been a calendar holiday since 2021. The history behind it runs deep for Black Americans. The Juneteenth flag, a powerful symbol of freedom and impersonation for Black Americans, was created in 1997 by activist Ben Heath, also known as Boston Ben, founder of the National Juneteenth Celebration Foundation, NJCF. The flag symbolizes Black pride and freedom, specifically honoring the holiday marking the end of slavery in the US, meaning Juneteenth is more than a holiday. It's a reminder that freedom delayed is still a wound. The holiday was first celebrated in Texas in 1865. In the aftermath of the Civil War, enslaved people were declared free under the terms of the 1862 Emancipation Proclamation. Let's watch the following argument from the videos and see why Juneteenth is a Black American holiday.
Let me tell you something about Juneteenth you probably didn't know. Even if you did know, share this video anyway because you'd be surprised how many people do not know these facts. Juneteenth started here in Texas, and the only reason it exists is because it commemorates Union General Gordon Granger having to go all the way down to the beaches of Galveston, Texas on June 19th, 1865 to tell the slaves there that they were free. Now, if you know your history, you know Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation 2.5 years prior. So why were the slaves not already freed? It was because the Southern Democratic slave owners of the day did not want to abide by Abraham Lincoln's proclamation, so they literally kept their own slaves in the dark for over 2 years. So Gordon Granger had to go all the way down there to essentially force them to free the slaves they were going to keep indefinitely because they did not want to release their control over them. Now, those are all facts you can look up easily for yourself. And most people have no idea those facts are actually true. And honestly, Democrats do not want you to know that information because it paints them in a negative light and it reframes the entire framework of Juneteenth. It was only made a federal holiday pretty recently, in 2021 actually, when Joe Biden turned it into a national holiday. And one of the reasons the left did that is because they want to essentially rewrite history as it relates to this topic and basically smooth over what their party was responsible for in the past. Now, I already know what's going to happen. We're going to have people who are going to say, oh yeah, well, the party switched. Let me tell you why that argument makes zero sense whatsoever. First of all, if the parties did switch and Democrats did care about the Black community, you would see evidence of that in our communities. But do you see that evidence? No. Additionally, saying the party switch does two things. Number one, it acknowledges the fact that Democrats were the original party of the KKK. But two, it's an extra leap in absurdity because in order to believe the party switch, you have to believe that the Republicans and Democrats basically met together and said, okay, we're going to shake hands and switch sides now. Just apply basic logic to this argument. It's almost like saying, okay, yeah, I had an abusive ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend, right? But they said they changed, so I'm going to take them back, even though they do nothing for me now. That is the same logic that is applied to the party switch argument, and it's ridiculous. At the end of the day, anyone paying attention knows that the Democrat Party just uses minorities to achieve their political ends. Nothing has changed over the years, and the parties never did switch. But of course, now they want to make Juneteenth this huge national celebration when it actually is a Texan celebration originally, because they're trying to pander desperately to minority individuals. And they're hoping that people do not know the facts as they stand and will not share the truth with other individuals. So prove them wrong.
Juneteenth is a Black American holiday, and that's okay. And I'm not sure if people are crashing out because they don't feel included or because y'all have continuously tried to gaslight Black Americans as though we don't have our own culture. But either way it goes, it's okay to accept that Black Americans do indeed have a culture and that Juneteenth is a part of that culture. And specifically, it is a Black Texan tradition of culture that have specific nuances in which Black Texans celebrate it with. It is okay to make yourself present in the celebrations, but not make yourself the celebration. And it is not xenophobic for Black Americans to say, hey, this is ours, as other cultures have theirs. Learn about it, respect it, but there's no need to put any remixes to Juneteenth. Juneteenth is what it is and has been what it's been. And in addition, if you're not a Black Texan, it should really be a day of remembrance, not just a day off of work. A day to recognize that, yeah, we have come a long way, but we still have so much further to go.
Juneteenth is an African American holiday, okay? I'm not saying that only African Americans can celebrate it, but it is our holiday. So I basically saw some Black Caribbeans, arguing about how, African Americans are trying to gatekeep Juneteenth and it's to celebrate all Black people. And it's just like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Juneteenth is not a holiday just to celebrate being Black. Juneteenth is literally to celebrate the emancipation of slaves in the United States of America. Okay, like, I feel like anybody could celebrate it. White people could celebrate it. But as long as you know what you're celebrating, which is slavery ending in the United States of America. Now, I do think that all Black people should celebrate it, even if you're not African American, especially if you're living in the United States, because if it was not for the Emancipation Proclamation, you would not be able to live it freely in the United States. If it wasn't for the freaking civil rights, movement, you wouldn't be able to live here freely and not get lynched. So I don't think there's anything wrong with celebrating African Americans. I don't know why we are hated on so bad. Like, my ancestors really did their big one. They really did their big one. But let's not try to, rewrite history and change the true meaning of the holiday.
Me saying happy Juneteenth to all the Black people really loudly in the office on today. Every time, happy Juneteenth, happy Juneteenth. Yes, because I want to hear them in the break room yesterday trying to act like they don't know why they're off tomorrow. Oh, it's just another day. I'm just so grateful we get a day off midweek. Not sure why. Really, Susan? You don't know? You don't know? You don't know what Juneteenth is about? Oh, but you know what Columbus Day is about. The white man who didn't discover shit. But you know what Columbus Day is about, but you don't know what Juneteenth. My Black ass holiday. Appreciate, recognize, show some respect, okay? Show some respect. Can't stand. Happy Juneteenth! All day, all motherfucking day.
Hi friends. Juneteenth isn't just another holiday. It's the most American holiday we have. Because what is more American than confronting injustice, than correcting our course, than choosing freedom, even when it's uncomfortable? Juneteenth marks the moment enslaved people in Texas were finally told they were free, 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. Can you imagine having been born into slavery, then one day finding out not only that you're now free, but that you've actually been free for the last 2.5 years, but the asshats in charge in Texas just failed to tell you for that long? And yes, that delay is part of the story, because America has always been slow to deliver on its promises. But the power of Juneteenth isn't in pretending we've always gotten it right. It's in proving that we can get better, even if it takes a while. That's what makes Juneteenth sacred. Not just the celebration of freedom, but the reminder that justice delayed still demands justice pursued. We talk a lot about the 4th of July, but let's be honest. 1776 declared freedom for some. Juneteenth actually delivered it for more. And there was also a delay between 1776 and those first Americans actually becoming free. They had to fight a costly and lengthy war to earn their own freedom. But consider this, it was still their own freedom they fought for. The Civil War was an even costlier war, but it was valiantly fought and ultimately won by primarily white Northerners who were already free and fought for the freedom of others, not just themselves. That is what makes Juneteenth the most powerful American holiday. It represents how we can come together and fight for others to have the same freedoms we enjoy. And right now, in this political climate, with a fascist in the White House and the GOP in full support of authoritarian actions, with civil liberties under attack, immigrants being hunted, history being erased, and the police state widening, Juneteenth matters more than ever. Because it reminds us that progress is possible. That even in the darkest corners of our history, there have been people pushing, surviving, fighting for freedom. Juneteenth is not just Black history. Juneteenth is American history. It's a blueprint for change. It's a warning about delay, and it's a celebration of resistance. So this Juneteenth, don't let anyone reduce it to just another day off, and definitely don't let the bootlicking, brown-shirted red hats erase its meaning. Because the truth is, Juneteenth is more patriotic than performative flag-waving will ever be. It's about liberation, it's about justice, it's about finally becoming the country we claim to be. So wave your flag if you want to, but know what freedom actually looks like. And this year, it looks like Juneteenth. Stay brave, stay free, and stay woke, patriots.
Juneteenth is celebrated to mark the end of slavery. It's a time to reflect on the history of African American freedom and celebrate the achievements and resilience of the African American community. Well, today, Black Americans honor Juneteenth, a powerful reminder of freedom delayed but not denied. So, Juneteenth is Black Americans' holiday. Black Americans have to keep Black American culture and history. Sharing skin color with groups from other countries means nothing. Do you support the concept that Juneteenth is for Black folks only? What about the white folks? Should they count themselves in celebrating this holiday? Give me a reason on the comment section below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Happy Juneteenth, America. Thank you.